morning, New Viva family. Thank you so much for joining in our channel, New Viva Weight Loss MD in Chandler, Arizona. I am here this morning. My name is Marsha, and we're here with Leslie to share a little bit about her success story. Leslie, thank you for being here. Congratulations on your success. If you could tell our viewers about your journey, specifically starting with maybe how much you've lost, how long you've been here, what you like about our treatment clinic.
So I have been here since November the 10th. I could probably tell you the time if I thought about it, of last year. I came in needing to pretend that I wanted to be here. I didn't really want to be here. My cardiologist had offered me this program probably, my open heart surgery was 2.5 years ago, so maybe about a year ago when I started going up. And I said, no, I am a Weight Watcher. I do Weight Watchers, and I will go back and rejoin, and I will try to be good. It did not happen. And so when I went back in October and could no longer breathe and walk at the same time and needed a wheelchair to get from one gate in the airport to another, scared my sister half to death because I stopped breathing it. I was stopping breathing at night, ripped off my mask, and then really stopped breathing in my sleep so that she stayed up all night to make sure I didn't die. She thought I was on my way out, and maybe she was right. When my doctor offered again, Dr. Flores, bless her heart, for me to come here, that she would be happy to send a referral, I said yes. When I came here, I met with Dr. S. She told me the program. In my head, I was thinking, I could never do this program, but I'm going to pretend I want to because it's my only chance. So I pretended, and I hated it every minute. I'm so sorry. And but within the first couple of weeks, I noticed I could breathe a little better. And then the atrial fibrillation, which I suffered every day for years, even though I had one procedure during my open heart surgery, and then went back and had an ablation, and none of them worked, even on medication. I had daily AFib. Suddenly my heart was quiet. And that was a draw. And I was suddenly willing to do whatever it took to feel better every day, you know? And I had made a decision to be alive, which took a decision after my son died. I was also seeing a therapist to help me with that decision. And the weight kept coming off, and I started feeling better. And it was like a miracle. What I needed, which I never got before in my weight journey that started in 1964 when my mother took me to the pediatrician for really strong diet pills that they do not give out anymore, ever. And thank you for those pills, by the way. And then took me all around to different doctors for all different pills. The thing that was missing in my life was one-on-one coaching. I spent 8 years even in Overeaters Anonymous. At one point, I went on every single starvation diet that they published, and some that I made up to stay thin. And then Weight Watchers starting in the 1980s. And never, yes, I lost increasingly bigger amounts of weight, but I could never hold maintenance for more than, I think my longest was 6 months. And then I'm getting it all back. And that additional 20 that everyone talks about, to the point where I hit 223. And I didn't care what I looked like, but my heart cared. So that is my journey here. I am solid in my program. I have to tell you that I was petrified to leave for 5 weeks. I was in 5 different places, and with my grandchildren 4 of the weeks, and a week on the beach where there were 10, excuse me, 10 people in the house, 4 kids. Everyone was eating vacation food except me. I cooked separate meals.
Wow.
Every single meal was
That's
different than they ate, except for the night that it was my turn to buy. And I bought a shrimp and clam boil. We were in North Carolina on the beach.
Wonderful.
So that was and everyone loved it, and it was all good. And in my head was Marsha going, if you start to eat, you release that beast, and you will be, quote, climbing the walls. And since I had been in the climbing the walls thing before, and I had never I've never won the contest before, I knew that I couldn't vary, and I lost like 5 pounds on my vacation.
Wow.
So it was Chicago, North Carolina, 2 weeks at my daughter-in-law's house, and then a week on the beach, and then another 3 days in Chicago, staying downtown. On the north side. My son received a Lifetime Achievement Award, and food all around, and I didn't vary, and that for me is a miracle.
That's wonderful. You said so many wonderful things. I have to backtrack a little bit if you don't mind.
Sure.
Let's talk about the fact that you lost 5 pounds on vacation. So it's definitely possible to do that.
Yeah.
You said you cooked your own meals.
Yeah, went
And
to the
you
grocery store,
felt
bought
like
meals for them, bought salmon, fresh salmon for me,
That's wonderful.
or I bought a roasted chicken one day, so that lasted a while. I had my vegetables.
That's wonderful.
I had my sugar-free popsicles, which are my guilty pleasure, but they work.
Yes.
So they had ice cream. Everyone was eating pints. I like straight from the pint.
Wow.
The whole pint, and I had my sugar-free popsicle, and I didn't feel cheated.
Awesome.
And the most amazing thing was, we had an Airbnb on the beach. There were sand dunes all around me. To get to the actual beach, which was down, it was up a sand dune and down, and then you're on the beach from our backyard. This is somebody who could not walk from one gate to another at the airport last October, who was able to suddenly go up a sand dune and back down, carrying heavy bags of beach towels, treats, folding chairs, and not out of breath.
That's wonderful.
And making that sand dune. And then the house was on stilts. So it was a 3-floor house, but tall 3-floor, and no trouble on the stairs. And it's like 180 degrees from October, just by following this program with not just me, but you, Dr. S, all my coaches, everyone that I've talked to. I even texted just to check in, to let everybody know that, no, you don't have to answer me, but I'm just telling you that I'm doing fine.
I love that.
And I got an answer from Clive.
That's great.
Good for you. And just that teeny bit of support was just enough to get me through the remainder.
How are you feeling? How does that make you feel to know, we'll use this, what you just said about your example of being able to walk to the beach with heavy bags and going over around the sand dunes in the sand to get where you needed to go. How does that make you feel? It really hasn't been that long since you were on the other side of this.
Yes.
So what do you feel now?
I never stop feeling amazed that I'm able to do this, that I wouldn't have been able to travel like this last October. I would have needed a wheelchair to go anywhere. Nobody could have pushed me in the sand. I mean, last year my son was in a wheelchair. It was his last trip out, and he couldn't go down to the beach because pushing, getting a wheelchair through sand and up dunes, he had to be on the porch watching. And that was why I went this year. He said, next year I'll be on the beach, and I said, I will be with you. So he was there in spirit, and I went. I don't usually that's a yearly trip they take, and I don't usually do it, and I never stopped being shocked that I'm doing it, because I thought I'm gonna be 74 and, you know, open heart surgery, and I've had 3 vein operations in the last 6 months, you know, and I thought it was over. I thought that, you know, even if I exist, I just can't, I have to accept that I can't do stuff. And then I can, and I'm like, this is just, I never stopped being amazed. I'm doing it. I'm boring people to death because I just keep talking about, do you know what I did?
But when you have experiences that you didn't expect that you were going to have, that's what it does. It makes you want to share.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go back one more thing.
Sure.
Till you said that you love the one-on-one coaching. That's been helpful for you. What else, if you were going to tell the viewers about the clinic experience, the treatment clinic experience, when you get here, what does that look like?
It is, my check-in time is my grounding time. And I know I'm going to meet with a coach or Dr. S. Everyone here is like so wonderful, not condescending, oh, another old lady with a weight problem kind of thing. I've gotten that before, especially around my heart surgery. Well, you know, she did, you know, how it is when you're over 200 and your heart's failing. It bolsters me up and keeps me going. And I have needed so much reassurance because with my history of weight gain and weight loss, and I can't, if I gain again, it would be a very bad thing, health-wise. So I can't, but that doesn't mean I wouldn't do that because I've done it before, knowing the consequences and deciding I didn't care. So it bolsters me up that when I'm told we will not go away, we will be there for you, you know, just because you lose the weight doesn't mean you are finished. And even, I was here last week and Dr. S reassured me, we will be here, we will help you, we will make sure this doesn't happen again. And evidently, I need that hand holding. I did not know that I needed hand holding, but I desperately need somebody, even if I'm not needing specific help. I need to know, yes, you are there if I decide that the candy bar is bigger than my willpower, because it's never a candy bar. It's always multiples.
So I'm hearing support. You get a lot of support.
The support is amazing. And honestly, if you are a binge, I have a binge disorder, which I've known for years. It's a definite disorder. I have known since the 70s that I am a compulsive overeater, and very much like an alcoholic, when I start, it's like one candy bar is too much and never enough. I know that I can't, if I could have a single piece of cake, then I wouldn't have a problem. And I have met many people who have learned that if they count their Oreo cookies in Weight Watchers, they can have them. Well, I found out, yeah, you can have them, and I will count them, but then I will eat the rest of the package after I've eaten my counted ones. Of course, I can't speak. And that's, I understand who I am. My mother was also. She was in OA for more than 40 years to be controlled. You do whatever it is that works for you if you want to control.
And this is working for you.
This is working for me. It's the first thing that has worked for me that I feel is the long term.
Wonderful. Because that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
We're doing long term success.
Yeah, and I need it.
Can you share maybe a couple challenges that you might have had while you were here and how you overcame them?
My biggest challenge all the time is food envy. I I am addicted to watching silly food videos on Facebook of people. There's some sort of a TV program, it might be in Korea, I'm not sure. I got my sister addicted to on our trip this last few weeks, of people, women, very thin women, I mean they look like they never eat except on these shows, shoveling cake in with like a little gold shovel, and I watch them eat like an entire cake. It's like food envy, it's like food porno. I mean, eventually I will be able to stop, you know, dreaming that I could have that, because I never even had it.
Well, one of the great things that we're teaching here is that there'll be a point where you can have some of your choices again. It just won't be exactly the same way.
Right.
So whether it be cake or whatever it is that you love, we're going to show you how to enjoy that in a smaller portion, maybe less often, so that you really know that you're not giving up everything. You're just learning how to eat better. So that's the goal.
I'm not sure how I'll do with that lesson yet, so I'm not going to think about the lesson.
All right,
because
we have time on that.
That's a scary lesson, but I have, you know, I have been comfortable in my program, and on vacation, Dr. Astep said, and Denise too, if I rearranged my carbs, that I could fit in a low carb fruit. Dr. Russ said at lunchtime. So that is my treat, along with a sugar-free popsicle also, you know, late at night when everyone's eating ice cream. So, you know, within my program, without changing the way I eat, I have found things that make me still feel that I am living a life with treats.
Very nice.
You know, so that works for me.
Which is lending itself to, we're flexible.
Yes. Now.
We can make, you know, some adjustments if we need to stay within the confines of the menu plan. Which
for
is
a
great.
while,
Great.
for a long time, up until maybe the last few months, I was rigid on the plan. Really rigid, because I felt that I needed that then. And now, just that piece of fruit or just that sugar-free popsicle, I feel like, oh, this is a nice treat. And I can do just that amount, and I don't have a problem.
Wonderful. Leslie, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for being so transparent. Thank you for being here. Continued success.
Yeah.
Do not quit.
I will not quit.
We're super grateful for you.
And I honestly hope that other people, I have passed out cards this week to 2 of my doctors, who were both happy to get them, who have said patients were looking for ways. I just hope that people don't let themselves go into illness that can't be stopped. If there's any chance they could make it better by coming here and losing weight and eating healthy.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah.